Hey everyone, welcome back. It's Debbie, and I wanted to finish up the Tuomas. You gotta love that southern. It just butchers everything. Tuomas. You have no idea how many times I've said that just on my own. Tuomas, Tuomas. I just walk around the house. Tuomas. Johnson. Tuomas. All right, y'all. Okay. There's your probably familiar southern word of the day. Y'all. Y'all come back now, you hear? Okay. Well, I do have a funny one for you. Okay. You have to sound out the word J-E-E-T. Okay? It says jeet. Well, that's how we say in the South. Did you eat? Jeet? I know. We have issues. Okay, well, here is part 2 of the Tuomas interview from Nightwish. And let's go ahead and get right to it after I've just rambled ridiculously. Okay, here we go. And I know there's going to be more hammering in the background. Sorry, it's not me. It's definitely in this video. So here we go.
There are kind of, big topics to process in an album, I guess. Did you talk with the other band members about what their views are on this, or about the material of the books, or those kind of things?
I absolutely did, because I knew the album is about big themes and even delicate issues here and there. So yes, I went through every single band member and explained what was about to come. And everybody agreed, and everybody said that this is exactly what we should do now.
But did they also agree with, maybe views you express, or
Maybe with what?
the views you have expressed? Or?
Yes. I mean, everybody read the lyrics, everybody heard the songs. We had long conversations in the summer camp about these issues. I mean, for example, evolution, it's not a debatable thing. So what is there to debate?
True.
They just thought that it's a really cool idea to do an album based on these things, because we have always been more about fantasy and escapism and really personal life stories. And in that sense, this album is the least personal album that we've ever done.
All of the songs, you could kind of say it's a concept album. It's all
In a
based
very loose sense of the word, yes. There are a few songs that I deal with these issues in a more prominent way. But then there are songs like Yours is an Empty Hope or Idi Maru, which don't really have much to do with this. But there is this overall atmosphere of praising the natural beauty, and it's very pro-life from beginning to the end.
And
one of the most uplifting works we have ever done, in that sense as well.
Uplifting what?
Uplifting, optimistic.
Ah, okay. You already mentioned Yours is an Empty Hope. It's not then related to the...
Oh my gosh, he is seriously, he's holding it together so admirably with this interviewer. Look at his face. He's just, what's debatable? Evolution is scientific fact. And poor guy, he's got another 10 minutes to go. Yeah, all right, let's go.
Origin of life theme?
No, it's something completely different.
What
but I never want to go too deep into the lyrics, because it would kind of ruin the mystery and the joy of discovery by yourself. But The lyrics for that song were actually written by Marco and me together. And
Monaco.
it's the song that's like the furthest away from all the other songs thematically. But let's leave it at that. Let's leave people the joy of discovery.
Okay. I noticed in Decades in the Sun, there's parts about mother and father, and Candle of Memory. It's all has a air of nostalgia, maybe, or well,
Yeah, absolutely does. It's a song made for our parents.
okay. Specifically for your parents, or
Everybody's parents. Everybody can hopefully relate to those. But of course, when I wrote the lyrics, I thought about my parents.
is it a way of saying thanks? Or
Yes, very much so.
okay. Let's see. Well, Richard Dawkins, you've actually had him on the last track. He does some speaking parts, right?
Yep.
How did you? Well, I guess of course he was an inspiration, so that's why you asked him. But what was his initial response?
His first response to me was by email telling that thank you for the letter you sent me. I've never heard of Nightwish before, obviously, but he had gone to the internet and listened to some of our stuff and found it interesting enough to collaborate with us on this album.
And the parts that he speaks, are they his words?
Yeah, the first two paragraphs are from his own books, and then the last one that he recites is the famous
Darwin.
Darwin
Yes.
quote. But also the album opens up with his quote, "The shadow before the beautiful one," and that was written by me.
And why was it important for you to have him on to speak those parts?
Well, it's really helpful for the dramatics of the song, because The Greatest Show on Earth is also a book by Dawkins, which heavily inspired us writing this song. So it just felt like it would make a perfect match to have the author himself come and join the song. And he has a lovely, smooth, gentle voice as well, which is a pleasure to listen to.
Well, I've noticed in this song there's a comparison to a show, life as a show, maybe.
The Greatest Show on Earth is life, yes.
Yes, but also on E.D. Maril you have watching the planetary curtain go down, and on the last album, Storytime, it was also at least the clip was all show setting. So it's, maybe I'm wrong, but it seems like something like a general theme that you compare life maybe to a show.
That's what it is, yes. It's not my idea, it's Dawkins' idea.
But why do you agree with it then? Why do you think that life is a show as well?
Well, it's just a poetic way of putting it. Simple as that. Yeah.
Well, the first album with Floor, of course, as a vocalist. How important has she become to the band in the past years?
Well, superbly important, of course.
I mean,
She's the lead
aside-
singer.
Yes, aside from that, what kind of energy does she bring into the group?
She brings a lot of motivation and devotion. Before we even entered the rehearsal studio to rehearse those songs, she already knew all the lyrics and songs by heart, according to the rehearsal tape that I had sent her a couple of months before. So the passion for singing her parts and doing this album with us was really there and still is.
Okay. Let's see. Of course, well, since you are the songwriter, you've also wrote her vocal parts. Did it in some way teach you to write with a new vocalist? To write lines for a new and different vocalist?
The songwriting process didn't change at all. of course I had a Floor's voice in my mind when I was doing those songs, in the same way that I always have Jukka's drumming and Emppu's guitar playing and Marco's bass playing and singing in my mind when I do the songs. Troy's pipes, all that. But Floor, as a singer, she's as versatile as it gets, really. So I didn't have to restrict myself in the songwriting, if that's what you mean.
That was what I meant.
Okay, yeah, not at all.
Your drummer Jukka pulled out during the recordings and of the tour because of insomnia. How is he doing now? Do you know?
He's doing much better. We are in contact all the time because he still takes care of the band's business, merchandise, all that. And he's actually still a member of the band. That's what it says in the album booklet. Drums by Jukka Nevalainen. Drums on this album performed by Kai Hahto. But he just needs a long breather now. So in 2-3 years we'll know about the future.
Okay. And well, Kai also filled in then during the recordings. How was it to have someone else drum?
Weird. Really weird. We rehearsed for about a month with Jukka already. And then he just finally gave up, saying that I can't do this anymore. And we have a schedule to keep. We have to find a substitute. Jukka insisted us on having a substitute ASAP. And the only person that we could really think of was Kai, because we go back a long way. We know how he's like as a person. He's a good friend, and of course, a really professional drummer. So good for us, he had the motivation and the time to be able to join the band and save the whole project, I could even say. We only had 6 days to work with him to practice the songs and arrange them before entering the studio, so it was quite the hassle.
And he's also doing the tours the next...
Yeah, he's gonna do the whole tour.
Okay. You've both worked on this album and your solo album at the same time, right? At the same time period?
Yeah.
But after that, how do you recharge your battery, I guess? What do you do to relax after such intense songwriting for a long period?
I'm really enjoying the moment now. I'm enjoying this promo tour, the upcoming days when we start rehearsing for live shows. Seeing people's reactions, experiencing all the hassle of the single and video and album release. It's a lot of fun, it's very inspiring. And then we go on tour, and that's it, pretty much.
Okay, thanks for your time.
All right, thank you.
He has such grace, such patience. I have such an admiration for him. For just you can just see it. You can tell. Like she is just chipping away. And he's such a humble guy that there you go. There's your Southern word of the day. Guy. That's 2 syllables. Guy. But how interesting that the new drummer, or the replacement drummer, not the new drummer, the replacement drummer only had 6 days. So here we have Floor. She has 48 hours to learn everything, which this is a perfect segue into the other video on my list, Learn the Set in 48 Hours. Yay! I know. I'm so happy. I hope I didn't just bust somebody's eardrum by saying yay that loud. But what an interesting interview. Even though the interviewer, she was just kind of we'll just call her a little marshmallow. How about that? I think she had all her questions prepared. She didn't really do much of her homework. But it was really cool getting to know Tuomas and me saying his name 40 times now, which I needed. And how did he say it? Morocco? Almost like Morocco. That was very cool. Very cool. Also, he just said the greatest show on earth is life. And she literally asked, is life the greatest show? Yeah, I just said that. The Shadow Before the Beautiful, I wrote that down. Now I can't remember why I wrote that down. Why did I write that down? Does anybody know? Well, anyway, I loved this. I loved getting to know him a whole lot better. And it just makes it all the more interesting when I listen to the music. So I hope you all enjoyed it, and I will be back with you really soon. All right, bye-bye.